How's it going, Bladesters? We're going to bring you specifications you can relate to so you can have an educated decision on your purchases. This is going to be kind of a new thing. I'm not a fixed blade guy. I tried and I'm trying. Recently I tried to start a fire with a Benchmade knife and I failed. I'm blaming it on the firewood because it was been sitting under my deck for quite a while. So I will try with some better wood at some other time. But I'm not a fixed blade guy. I'm going to give you some specs. I'm going to give you some run-throughs, kind of my opinion on this knife here, some of the fit and finish, because that's something I can talk to. But as far as if this is going to be something that will skin your deer, prep your food it might do. But other things, survival, I heard that you can baton a piece of wood with it. Dylan said you can, so I haven't tried it with this one because it's not mine, but he said you can do that. He's done it with this knife. So this is a CJRB. This is called the Silax. This is a Dylan Mallery design. So he is a twin, which is a kind of cool thing. Thank you to his parents, because I have triplets, and I'm sure at times it was very difficult for his parents. But that's going to be what we have for this one. So CJRB, this is the sub-brand of Artisan Cutlery. So China's genuine blade is as far as what they're telling me that means. But this is going to be the knife. It's a nice blade. I do like it quite a bit for the way it looks. But I think there's two things missing from it, at least right off the bat for me, is going to be a way to carry it, because I was going to go pick up some soft loops to try and at least carry it, get some pocket time or belt time to actually see what this would do, or in like kind of my day-to-day as far as what I would use it for. But it doesn't come with anything for it, so it does have the paracord with it, but there's no tech lock, there's no soft loops, so I couldn't carry this on my belt, and I'm not going to put this in my pocket. It's like a 5-inch blade, 5.11, 5.11 roughly. But it is a very nice blade. So that's one thing that I would give this definitely some props for, because it is a very, very handsome knife. So now very much reminds me of something in a kitchen knife, but all the corners, everything about it feels really good, and then also it's sharp in the right places as far as like the actual blade side, but also does give you a 90-degree spine. So if you do want to do any type of ferro rods, then this does have a 90-degree here, but it also is crowned on the places where you're going to be putting any pressure on it. So that's something that's really nice about the knife for it. And even in this section here where your fingers can be running up against this blunted area, that is rounded off too, so you're not going to have any type of hot spots. So as far as use wise, I think there's going to be a really nice knife to use when you're out and about. If this is going to be one that you're going to pick up, then you can just throw this in your backpack or anything that you're taking with you. Price wise, I mean, it's inexpensive. It's like $69.99 for the knife. MSRP is about $93.33. But that's going to be how it looks for it. The degree of angle on it is about 6 degrees as far as this actual primary. So that's pretty decent. So it's not going to be like a kitchen knife. Kitchen knife is going to be probably about half of that at about 3 degrees or so. So it's going to have some rigidity to it, so you can actually use it more than a kitchen knife in the field. So that's something nice about it. But for the other side of it, the initial grind from the factory, maybe this is factory ground or not, it is getting a pass around. So it is a 15 degree and a 20 degree. So it is not the same on both sides. So that's something that could probably be addressed really quickly with the sharpening to get that right on point. But it does still do well as far as cutting things with it, as far as doing regular cuts. So 4.5 ounces for the knife and 5.7 total with the sheath and knife. But for fixed blades, I try to get a little bit more things that kind of make sense for fixed blades. So as far as any regular cutting for it, so you're able to do fairly decent for this type of cutting, and even in different portions of the blade. So if you want to do kind of this type of work to get things kind of rounded out, it does do a pretty decent job in getting the cuts for you. And then as far as the work that you're going to do for it, it's going to be in RPM 9 for this steel. So that's going to be kind of between 14C28 and D2. So it's going to give you good edge retention for it. But that's going to be the powdered steel that they put together for Artisan Cutlery. So that's their proprietary steel for it, but that's kind of the where it's going to sit as far as a use wise. This is the other one that I have available just to give you a size comparison. So there's the Bushcrafter from Benchmade. Let's go this way. Feels more natural that way for some reason. So we're going to go this way for it. So size-wise, it's going to be about the same. So the handle-wise is going to be a little bit bigger for the Bushcrafter, and a little bit off the ways there. But size-wise, so handle to handle, you're going to have probably about, so grip area is going to be a little bit longer with the CJRB as far as what you're going to be gripping at. Definitely not as thick as the other one. And then blade stock thickness is really a big difference for these as well. So you're going to have, you can just see the difference on that stock thickness. And I found this is really, really horrible at doing any type of feathering sticking in my attempts to start a fire. As you can see, I got ferro rod burns on this blade spine as I'm trying to work on this, as my kids are telling me that they want a fire, and I'm like really working on it, get a fire going, and then it dies out. Try again. I hurt my shoulder at one point with that, but I will start a fire sometime, and it's the firewood, not my fault. So we're going to work on that. But so size wise, this one's going to be 90 degree across the whole thing, which I think it's a nice thing for this one, where I'm going to be dropping my thumb. I don't need jimping for it. I don't need anything of that. I don't really want a 90 degree spine in this section for the knife, but it has a good grip for both of them as far as the use wise. So would I pick this up? I think it's a good value for it. I don't currently have a purpose for it, but that's where, if you do have that purpose for yours, then that would fit right in. If this is what you're looking at, I wouldn't sway you away from it. So buy, borrow, avoid. I would borrow to see if it's what you're looking for. If you look at the specs and you look at the size of what it is, and it's like, yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking for, pick it up. I mean, that's where you're going to get it from a lot of different retailers now for the CJRB Silax. Dylan does a great work, great guy as well, so I'm glad to support any of his work that he does throughout the community, and we'll see how it goes for that. But that is about all I have to say about that one today.